Hi guys, in my today's lesson I'm going to teach you about what is social media marketing. Well, this is one of my favorite subjects and I have been teaching social media marketing for quite some time. And I'm going to briefly take you through what exactly is social media and why should you invest in social media marketing. In today's lesson, I'm going to share with you 6 approaches to social media marketing which most of the brands follow. And I believe after watching this session, you will also start taking social media marketing quite very seriously for your business. Now, what is social media marketing? Using the potential of social media platforms to leverage value for your business is basically social media marketing. Social media channels were not made for business. Social media channels were not made for business. But then, when people started spending more time on social media channels, the brands started finding an opportunity to reach out to them. And as and when these platforms created opportunities to reach out to customers or your audiences through the means of business pages, through the means of advertisements, social media became all the more popular thing. Today, everybody talks about social media. Today, we all spend majority of our time on these channels. Not just this, even brands have increased their budgets in social media advertising or social media marketing. So, social media has a very strong future, right from a career perspective, right from a marketing point of view, right from social media synergies between different brands out there. There's a lot more innovation which is taking place on this platform. Now, let's look at how I classify these tools. Now, there are various social networking platforms across the world, and there are many of them. I mean, we just can't keep counting. There are these many, but then popular ones are very few, and we all are aware of them. When we talk about social media, the first thing that comes to our mind is Facebook, then Twitter, then LinkedIn. It's Pinterest, Snapchat, Instagram, blog, and YouTube. All of these social networking sites are equally important because these are the best of all the other social media channels out there. I classify these social media marketing tools in format of blog and YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook as social networking platform, blog and YouTube as social publishing platform, and Pinterest, Snapchat, and Instagram as photo space social networking platform. When I ask this question to people in my workshops across the country, on which do you think is most important, social networking or social publishing or photo based social networking? A lot of them says all of these. Some of them say social networking is more important than social publishing, and very few of them say social publishing is more important than social networking. Now, from a business perspective, yes, it purely depends upon what kind of business domain you are in. According to that, you will probably be deciding what is very important. It's if it's a consumer business, if it's a B2C business, then you'll be majorly focusing on Facebook, Twitter. And if it's a B2B business, then you'll be focusing on blog, YouTube, and LinkedIn. But if you are aiming to become a digital marketer, then you might want to first establish your strong presence on social publishing platforms like blog and YouTube, because this becomes the trampoline of your internet marketing scenario. When I say trampoline, I mean it becomes a base where people will jump and reach out to other social networking platforms and they will drive traffic here. The true ROI of social media marketing largely depends upon what you want your consumers to do. Either they subscribe for your channel, or they make a visit to your blog, or they join in your webinar. So there is something that you need to tangibly decide as the ROI. So in that way, you basically calculate the traffic coming to your blog, the visitors coming to your YouTube channel, the subscribers to your YouTube channel, the subscribers to your blog as one of the ROI of your social media marketing efforts. Social networking is equally important, but always remember social networking has its own world. It's in its own world. But always remember, social networking is in its own world, which means whatever happens on Facebook stays on Facebook. Whatever happens on Twitter stays on Twitter. It is not discoverable on other platforms, which means when you're trying to search something on Google, your updates from social networking sites will not be appearing on your Google search results. This basically makes your content go stale because it's not discoverable after it goes down the timeline unless until it's not going viral. So what happens when you put your effort in social publishing, which is blogging on YouTube, you are still discoverable after years because your content might be on the top page of Google. People might still discover your content because you have recently written them, or you have written a masterpiece which still holds value and is on top page of Google, or if it is ranking on top of YouTube and people are trying to search for it. So your social publishing holds value there. Social networking might create a quick impact for the content that you're trying to post across, or you need to push it to the right audience. So you can buy your reach or make it reach to your relevant audience. Hence, social networking is important. Photo-based social networking is a new norm with the youth of the country. Across the world, we see a lot of people using Pinterest, Snapchat, Instagram. In India, Instagram is dominating when compared to Pinterest and Snapchat. Well, Snapchat is quite a very popular tool with the teens out here, whereas Instagram is slowly becoming popular with mature audience. It's becoming popular with ladies out there. So if you're into business, which is into travel, domain, education, food, accessories, and something which is very fancy, then you might want to use these social networking platforms where you can show some amazing pictures to the audience out there. So it's social publishing versus social networking and photo-based social networking. Sometimes there's a sync, sometimes it works on its own. So you have to decide what works best for your personal brand as well as your business. Let's look at some of the statistics. I'm not a guy of numbers, so I love to share stories. So just look at it. Total population of 7.47 billion, of which about 3.73 use internet. Almost 50% of the global audience use internet today. And of this, almost 2.789 is active on social media channel, which is quite a huge number. In India alone, we have about 462 million internet users at this point of time. And this is expected to reach about 500 to 600 by the end of 2017. Of this, we have about 191 million social media users, and there would be about 210, if I look at the current statistics, about 210 million Facebook users at this point of time, and which is a good number. So social media is almost 50% of total internet population in this country. So if in India about 500 million people use internet, then almost 200 to 250 million people use Facebook, which is a very good number to look at. So social media is growing. People have been spending time here. People have been enjoying their times out here. It's become the mode of entertainment for many of them. It's become the mode of gossiping. It's become the mode of showing off as a platform. So for many, social media has become their lives. There are two kind of personalities today, guys. One, your real personality. Two, your social media personality. People are something else on social media. There might be something else in reality. But social media is changing the whole ball game of how people are positioning, or how brands have been positioning, or how brands have been trying to sell themselves on these social networking sites. I usually believe that there's 6 strong approaches to social media marketing. And these are those 6 strong approaches. 1, branded channel. 2, closed communities. Influencer outreach. Co-creation, social selling, and customer service. Let's look at them in detail. Now let's look at branded channels. What exactly is branded channel? Branded channel is basically one of the most important element today in the digital front because it helps you in doing your corporate communications. We create our Facebook pages, our Twitter business page, our LinkedIn business page, our Instagram business page. This is with the brand identity out there so that we can communicate on behalf of brand. Many brands across the world, across this country, have been using social media just to communicate with the stakeholders, with the employees, with the well-wishers, as well as with people who is going to be their prospective customer. So they all in all first create the branded channels. And it's very important to have your channel, have your branded communication channel so that you can do regular corporate piece of communication. Branded channel is very important to create regular engagement. Many of us today go to Domino's page to check out what is the recent offer. Many of us go and check out on Zomato what's the new cool and what kind of communication that they have been doing. We go check out publishing houses to see what's the latest news in the town. So basically every channel serves different purpose. So you have to identify the tone of communication. You have to figure out what's the right theme and you have to put that particular seeds accordingly, considering how you want to position your brand on the internet space. Branded channels are very important because it is the business identity today. It's like your online office. You have your website and you need to have your branches out there. Social media is where you might want to have your branches because people are more likely to see your branches and not where your head office is. So your branches, your stores out there in the market is more visible than your head office. So Facebook business pages, LinkedIn business pages, Twitter for business, Instagram for business profiles, all of these are your branches out there where you communicate with your customers or your prospective buyers. Point number 4. Social media channels are very important so that you have a uniform communication. Many businesses out there try to do something in the offline world. At the same point of time, they try to do something in the online space. And there is a sync out there. When you are running advertisements on offline and you're doing hoardings across the city, you're running newspaper advertisements, you're doing radio jingles, you might see a lot of people showing interest in what are you trying to communicate. But while you try to run same kind of advertisements on the online platform, you immediately see conversions. Why? Because people have seen your ads, people have read about you, people have heard about you, but it's time for them to react, and the reactions are more likely to take place on social media. So you as a brand need to have a branded channel. You and your business needs to have channels out there in order to communicate with businesses. If you have this question, sort of how many channels should I have? It purely depends upon the purpose of your business. It depends upon how many businesses have similar identities. How many different profiles do you handle at the same point of time? For example, we work with some of the groups where they have jewelry, they have real estate, they have finance. Now for this, I might want to have one communication channel from a corporate communication point of view, but I might want to have individual communication channel for each of their lines of business, because all of these would like to connect with different set of audiences and different piece of communications. Usually the parameters of judging your presence on branded channels is through campaigns, contests, month on month growth, percentage of engagement, and virality of the content. If you are creating a presence on social media channel, dumping content for the sake of dumping content is not social media marketing. If you're trying to be on social media and you're trying to post some interesting content piece out there and you're making it reach to larger audience and you make them engage with the content piece, that exactly is social media marketing. If you have a goal on what you want to achieve, what's the number you want to reach out to, that exactly is social media marketing for you. Let's look at example of various branded channels out here. This is Urban Tree's Facebook page, which is managed by my team. And this page talks a lot about Tamil Nadu. It talks a lot about Chennai, because Urban Tree is right now strongly positioned as one of the top real estate builders in Chennai. So this community has set a theme to communicate about the city. This community has set a theme to reach out to larger audience and talk about it. For example, if you look at the kind of communication that we do here, we talk about home buyers persona, we create content basically that can help home buyers. So there are different content buckets built here. Talking about contests, so there is a very local contest which is being developed, and then there are content chunks for home buyers. We talk about special days. We talk about generic stuff that youth could connect with. We talk about things to do in Chennai, places to eat in Chennai, so that we can connect with the emotions of people in Chennai. And then there are pieces of communication which has got to do a lot with the branding of the business. It has got a lot to do with what they're trying to sell right now. So this is one of those examples. This is my Facebook page, which has close to about 47,000 followers. The idea is very simple. I basically use this page to create advertisements and inform people about my workshops. I create this chunk basically to ensure that I reach out to more people and talk to them about digital marketing. So a lot of my blogs gets promoted using this platform, and I try to invite more people on this channel to communicate with me quite often. So there is this content chunk where I talk about special days, but everything is revolving around digital marketing. So digital marketing is the core, and the communication chunks are around digital marketing. This is the third example. It is one of the brands that we follow, which has close to about a million subscribers, 10 million subscribers, sorry, 2 million subscribers on Facebook page. And on this page, we talk a lot about parenting. So when this page was given to us, we realized that the brand needs a strong positioning from a parenting point of view, because the business in itself starts talks because the business basically talks about rhymes. So if you just keep talking about a rhyme on a channel like Facebook, you might not really entertain the parents out there. So we completely created a different perspective. We started educating people about parenting. We started creating memes, funny moments, emotions strongly associated with parenting. So this way, right from videos to gifs to series posts, all of these were imbibed only considering one theme, which was parenting. And as we created that theme, it created a larger impact. So you notice on an average, every post reaches out to thousands of people, hundreds of shares, and thousands of likes every single day for the content which is being shared on this particular platform. So these are all examples of branded channel, and these branded channels creates your brand and builds your positioning on the internet space. Let's look at the second example of a second approach of social media marketing. The second approach to social media marketing is closed communities. There are bigger brands who invest heavily in branded channels, and then there are smaller businesses who likes to create closed communities. The brand is involved in creating communities of like-minded customers, and they try to strike conversation, which is not just one way, but there are many ways where everybody can contribute to the community for the growth of the community and everyone's knowledge out there. So, what happens in a community? Here's an example, or here's a case study. I have a community out here which I have created on Facebook. It's called Digital Marketing Question and Answers. So, anyone and everyone out there who's watching my video or who is taking up my course can be part of this community. They can join this community and ask me questions out here. And as and when they ask me questions, I respond to their questions. And that's how we start building conversations. So, if you notice, there's just very few posts from me, but a lot of other posts is basically coming from many people from across the country, from in fact across the world. So people start sharing their thoughts out here, and as an admin, I accept or reject those questions which I believe is relevant or irrelevant to the community. So that's community based approach, where you create a smaller community on a subject and you let everybody else contribute to it. It could also be known as a forum for your reference. The third important approach to social media marketing these days is influencer outreach. This is a very popular phenomenon. You'd have seen since 2015, there's an increase in the demand for influencer marketing, and there's an opportunity for each one of you who are watching this video to become an influencer. I am approached by a lot of brands from a digital marketing domain to become an influencer for their product and talk about it on the internet domain. So I either write a blog about them, or I do a YouTube video, or I tweet about them, or Facebook post about them, and I charge them for the same. So these are two different opportunities here. One, you as a person can become an influencer, or you can invite influencers for your business. When do you have to invite influencers? When you are a new business in town, you're a restaurant, you can invite all the food bloggers from your city to come and talk about your restaurant on the blogs, on the Instagram and Twitter. So there's an instant gratification in PR that is happening with help of people who are already very popular in the digital space. Influencer outreaches are of various kinds. People work with celebrities, people work with digital influencers, and a lot more people in order to make their communication pieces reach to many people out there. So here is a case study from influencer marketing. Let's take cashflow.com as one of the examples. Cashflow.com was one of our clients in the past, and we were doing influencer marketing campaign for them. We have database of huge influencers out there. So Swati wanted to form relationship with those social media popular influencers who are very popular on Twitter. So we made a database of all these influencers. We approached them. We made them write their phone number, addresses, and their email IDs. And then we made a customized mug. This customized mug comes along with a tag, which is your photograph and your username, which is at sort of Jane on Twitter. So it just said, follow me at sort of Jane on Twitter with a photograph, and that customized mugs were sent to people across the country. Now, this 300 to 500 rupees worth product, along with the shipping cost, reached out to people. A lot of people started taking photos, started tweeting about it. Thank Cash Karo, thanks Swati Bhargava. And there was a whole lot of relationship that was just formed because there was a small gift which was sent to people who are already very popular in the internet space. So it worked in favor of brand because a lot of people started using cashflow.com after that and started recommending cashflow.com to a lot more people. Something which I loved about cashflow.com's influencer marketing campaign was when a mug was sent to a particular entrepreneur, which was already broken, Cashcrow, and he posted it on his channel saying that cashcrow.com stop becoming crashcrow.com. Thanks, but but no thanks. So as he posted this on his social media channel, the CEO from cashcrow.com quickly replied to him, apologized, and he said that's perfectly okay. We understand this could be a problem, and this whole lot of conversation helped Swati get closer to that influencer. So that is an opportunity in influencer marketing campaign, but you need to drive this very smartly. For Urban Tree, which is again one of the popular real estate brands out here in Chennai, we organized a bloggers meetup inviting about 60 to 70 influencers from the city. We gave them an experience to remember, and as they were experiencing the entire bloggers meet, they started tweeting, talking about it, they wrote blog about it, and those blog comes as a great value for businesses. So that there was a whole lot of value proposition that businesses got because of word of mouth which was spread about Urban Tree. And today we see great traction which happens majorly with influencers because they already know the brand and there was a personal connect which was formed. The fourth approach to social media marketing is co-creation. You are a popular brand and you do not want to really promote a particular product because you believe that the span of the product is just 2 months, so you don't want to really create a lot of noise and you don't have ability to drive some creative engagement. You might not be a very popular brand and you might want to just launch your product amidst thousands and millions of people in a fraction of few days, and for that you might want to work with some experts. Influencers might have limited reach, so there are so many other platforms out there who would want to connect with you and create something magical for you. They have creative skills, they have ability to advertise, they are doing something magical on the social media channels already. And this basically helps you in making your content reach out to those followers who have been following that page very strongly. One of the best examples is TVF's Pictures, which was one of the movies created on entrepreneurship, and Kingfisher was basically the brand which was endorsed. Similarly, AIB, which is basically creating a lot of videos across the country, also endorses many businesses and brands, and they try to create something interesting for them. So here's an example that I would like to show you right now. So this is an example of Quicker, which is a very popular brand, and for Quicker, it was AIB who had created a content and which got them a lot of traction. So let's look at it.
क्या वाली वीडियो हो गई अरे ये लोग कैसे हो सर अलग कैसे करता फोन बेचना है फोन बता दो चलो ओके ओके डन 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 ओके ओके डन 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 जय श्री कृष्ण ओके सी ओके हाँ इसका कितना मिलेगा फोन का कितना मिलेगा सर ये मारो 5400 बस रुपीस 54 रुपीस सर फोन बेच रहा सर शेजवान नूडल्स नहीं और वो भी वारंटी पीस है सर देखिए बिल भी है मेरे पास वो वारंटी पीस है 6 महीने हुए इसे लेके ये इसका पता नहीं है सर चार्जर भी ओरिजिनल बिल और चार्जर है तो साथ मिला के 55 करते हैं 55 सर ये 6 महीने का पीस है 12,000 रुपए में एक भी स्क्रैच नहीं है एक भी बार हैंग नहीं हुआ ये फोन एकदम न्यू पीस है नया पीस है तो पहले पता नहीं ना ये अरे सर आप खुद देख लीजिएगा ना अब तो एक काम करते हैं जो भाव लगाते हैं इसका नया पीस फ्रेश पीस है तो मार्केट का भाव अभी इसका इतना हुआ अब इन्फ्लेशन पकड़ो 6 महीना पहले से जो हर्षद मेहता का उसके हम वहाँ पे वो ध्यान में रखते हुए फिर ये स्टीव जॉब्स को मैं आजकल मिस कर रहा हूँ उसका फिक्स करने के बाद चलो ये हम रखेगा 56 लगाते हैं सर, 56। आप एक काम कीजिए, आप अपने नहीं, आप give me the phone. मैं आपसे बात नहीं करती, call your manager right now. अभी इसी वक्त आपने manager बोला है, please, अभी इसी वक्त. आप टेंशन मत लो. Call your manager right now. अभी छोड़ो मैनेजर को बोला. Manager is coming. Hello sir, I'm the manager. How can I help you? Sir, Dinesh said you had a problem, sir. No, sir. Why sentimental about this, sir? Sir, don't get mad, sir. Really, sir. I know. You're an insane person. Give me the phone. आप गुस्सा हो रहे हो? I understand. Final price you आप बहुत खुश होगा, sir. Very reasonable price, sir. इसका sir price होगा.
So the message says, ऐसे लोगों की मुंह क्यों लगना? Find your perfect buyer on Quicker. So that's just an example of how AIB got associated, or how Quicker got associated with AIB and created the masterpiece. Now let's look at this fifth approach to social media marketing, which is social selling. There are two different ways of social selling today, guys. One, where salespeople use social media effectively to drive sales. Earlier, they used to do calls, they used to do sales demo and qualify leads. Now they use social networking sites, they educate people, they engage them, and then they start doing cold calls. Researchers have found that 91% of B2B buyers are now actively involved in social media. And most of the senior executives in the US market and the UK market use social media effectively. So here there's an opportunity for you as a business development guy or a sales guy to use social media to sell, or at least use it for your customer intelligence. You figure out what they have been doing, what their likes have been. So when you're striking a conversation with them, it's so easy to talk to them. For example, when I had met a person today, it was a sales pitch, and all that I told him was, I just love what you have been doing on your Facebook profile, and I completely love that particular post of yours, and I strongly believe that you would have done this particular task this way. It would have got you more engagement and responses. And that particular person was quite impressed that I've been following him, and that was a reason for me to strike that conversation, because I've been observing what he's been doing on social media. So social media is a great opportunity for you to derive at what is your customer doing and how you can talk to him while you do a cold call with him. You can start your conversation with what you have observed from his social media profile out there. So social selling has become very important. Many people send me messages on LinkedIn and they try to pitch their companies. There are ways to send messages to people. One, where you directly sell what you want to sell. Second, you try to strike conversation with them. You tell them what is so good, what is not so good for them. You first help them, and then you try to sell your business. So Twitter and LinkedIn is where you find immense opportunity for social selling. I've been training companies where I teach them social selling, and social selling is a very important aspect of business, because once you polish your profile and you position yourself, you're helping yourself build your personal brand, and you're helping your company by selling and talking about the product. So you are talking about the work culture, you're talking about the product and services, so they feel privileged because you are training them in becoming social media savvy, and in a nutshell, they are helping your business by talking about your business on the internet space. So please do ensure that your team starts learning social selling and become a pro at it. I also believe there's a different approach to social selling. Social selling is no more just about sending messages to people. It is also about effectively using the advertising platform. It is also about effectively using the advertising side of these platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. All of these channels have their advertising platforms. I run a Facebook marketing masterclass online, which is a virtual course where I help people on how to run advertisements on Facebook. And that's quite very popular with people who have been taking that particular course up there. I teach people there how do you generate your leads, how do you automate this, and how do you do your social selling by involving some budgets out there. Something which I have learned, that on social media today, you don't have to really go or believe in organic, because organic is almost dead. When I say organic, I mean the reach of your post on your page is not going to be massive unless until you're not boosting your post out there. So you have to have budgets involved, and how do you play with your budget? And that's very important. So social selling today is equally important as your social community management. So you need to have budgets to reach out to people, grow your subscriber base, and drive massive engagement to your social media channels by involving some budgets out there. And that's where social selling comes into picture, where you use these channels for lead generation, or you boost your post with help of these advertising experts or advertising platform, or you can become advertising expert yourself. Sixth approach to social media marketing is customer service. Many more consumers today are on social media channels in order to seek support from businesses out there. So if you are on social media and you're not serving your customers, then there is a challenge, because a lot of these customers goes unhappy and will start talking negative about you all across. It's a normal thing today, right? When you're happy, you don't talk about those businesses on internet space. But when you are not happy, you're not satisfied, you would like to shame that brand by talking about your experience on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. This way, those brands are more likely to listen to you because you're trying to shame them in public. This is just the general scenario all across the world. But what I'm trying to tell you here is customer service is one of the most important aspects. Many businesses like Vodafone or Airtel or Yatra.com or any of these popular airlines out there, they take your customer concerns, or they take your concerns very seriously, and they'll respond to you within 2 hours, and they'll try to sort your problem as soon as possible. So this way, there is a transparency of communication. This way, there's a transparency of what they have got to offer you. This way, there's a quick response that you will generate, because this is no more through the means of mail, through the phone calls, it's in public. So customer service has become an important norm for social media. Many businesses don't use branded channels for doing fancy piece of communication. They don't do social selling, but they use social media to raise tickets for customer service. When you're trying to do your social media marketing is not free, guys. You have a social media platform which is freely available, and you can create your business page for free. But there's a lot of investment that goes in production of great videos, content creation from a text point of view, from photos point of view. That's one of your biggest asset. When you are investing in your content, you're investing in an asset which is only going to mature with time. So do not please go cost conscious there, because you really have to make investments there. You have to invest in tools. Some people invest in social media management tools, some people use in listening tools, some people do in CRM and automation. So there are costs involved in tools. Graphic designs and designers who works with you, so there is cost involved from a graphic designing point of view. Advertising budgets, the team who will manage your social media channels, a microsite or a landing page investment, and an agency or consultancy fee. So these are the potential line of budgets that goes in place. So social media marketing is not free, and you have to smartly plan your investments when you think of social media marketing. It's not free, but then you can utilize your time and spend your time on social media channels to make your business reach to a lot more people. And I truly believe this is something that you can learn and implement it on your own without involvement of an expert or without involvement of an agency. As an individual, I would suggest you to build your profile. And as a business, I would suggest you to build your team who can handle your social media channels. With this, I will end this video up there. And I would like to just conclude by making one statement that social media marketing is an art of engaging people with interesting pieces of content. It is an art of talking to people through the means of paid media. It is an art in order to make your content reach to people through people. So please invest in social media marketing, because the future is right there. Thank you.